Today we're going to talk about ironheads and the stigma surrounding ironheads. You could probably make this argument for Sportsters as well, but I would say ironheads get more of a bad rep than Evo Sportsters. Okay, whatever. Here's my opinion. Take it or leave it, right? I've worked on a good amount of ironheads in the, let's say, 11 years that I've been messing around with motorcycles. I've had my hands inside of a lot of ironheads. I've ridden a lot of ironheads, and I've ridden a lot of bad ironheads, and I've ridden a lot of really good ironheads. This rule probably applies to every automotive or motorcycle wise, but obviously an ironhead that is well taken care of is just as reliable as any other Harley, if not more than the shovel heads or anything else. They may be a little more meticulous, they may want a little more maintenance than other things, but if you take the time to properly work on an ironhead and properly maintain an ironhead, those bikes are just fine. They are just as reliable as any other Harley. I wouldn't say they're worse or better. That's not saying much because Harley Davidson, I get it. But my experience with ironheads, right? And I'm talking all the way up to 1984 and early 900s. I have had better experiences with the earlier ones. The 60s and I would say pre-77, I've had better experiences with them as far as they just seemed like they were built a little better. I know the AMF era, whenever that started, yada yada, I understand those things. And don't get me wrong, I've ridden some and I've owned some that they just got in the wrong hands. When it comes down to it, what I'm trying to say, when I'm really walking in circles, this goes for all motorcycles, it's the owner. It comes down to the owner and its history. It really does. These bikes are fine. You can ride these bikes anywhere. Yeah, they're not fast. Yeah, they're not, powerful bikes. But if they're well kept and they were well cared for, they're great motorcycles. I don't care what anybody says. They're awesome. They do what you want them to do. But all it takes is one or two bad owners, even one bad owner. All it takes is one bad owner to ruin somebody's idea of an ironhead. That's the problem, because a lot of people just got ironheads from bad owners. When it comes to ironheads specifically, get it, maybe you're buying a bike from somebody that's flipping a bike. Maybe I'm buying a bike. Obviously, I'm buying this bike to sell it, or I'm buying a ironhead to sell it. And I'm probably buying it from somebody who's flipping it, and so on and so forth. But you could always tell when a bike was well taken care of, right? You could just see that this bike was loved for. Maybe, all right, if I have to be a stickler about this particular bike, which I'll show you the videos of, the wiring isn't great, right? I don't love it. And again, I'm not a great wirer either. But other than that, the bike kicks over easy. Everything's there. Seems like it had a couple good owners. Maybe it had some bad eggs along the way, but as long as it has one or two good... All right, man. What I'm just trying to say here is when it comes to ironheads, I know it comes to all motorcycles, but I feel like ironheads, we're just talking ironheads right now, 57 to 84 or 85, whatever. They need good owners, right? They have good owners, they are tractors, and they're very resilient, and they will keep running. So, change your oil, take care of your bikes, tip your waitresses,